Jarin Stevenson committed to North Carolina roughly 5 minutes after Cannon Catchings committed to Georgia. One of my favorite, like, domino effect, funny announcements ever. As Riley reported last week for us in some of these portal videos, there was one spot here. North Carolina was recruiting both. North Carolina appeared to be preferring Cannon Catchings at first. And maybe we don't know the full story or not. Somehow, some way, Jarin Stevenson ended up getting the spot that originally we thought would go to Cannon Catchings. The timing of it did work out where Cannon announced, and then like Jarin must have been like, I'm ready, let's go. And I will say, I think Jaren's the better player of the two. So I think this is a good get for North Carolina. How are you feeling now that Jarin Stevenson is a Tar Heel?
So yeah, this is like 12 hours since he committed. I'm talking myself into it. I said when we did the preview of him last week that I was pretty out on Jaron. I was afraid of him not really improving from year one to year two. I think the more I did watched a little bit of tape, looked at the numbers, I see something there. There is a world where he could evolve maybe into like a double digit scorer and can give you some help on the glass as well. And I think the big question is like, what exactly is his offensive role going to be? Is he played the three and the four for Nate Oates, like they even down the stretch last year. I would say for any Carolina fan who wants to get a taste of what Jaron Stevenson can provide, go watch that game in the SEC tournament against Kentucky. I think that was his best game of the year. He was really good defensively with three steals. I believe he had 16 points. I lost it. Yeah, 16 points and made three threes in that. And only had only had four rebounds. You want to see that number go up. But I thought like just watching that game and watching what he did in that one, you see the defensive tools there in the length to where that's where it helps him like disrupt ball screen action. There were times in that game where he was guarding Kobe Brea and he held his own. There's still times where he gets caught a little flat-footed if he switched onto a guard. But it's fine. He's 6'11". But that is the archetype for what he can do. There's one play in the first half where they have him coming off of a dribble handoff with Grant Nelson and he gets to the rack really easily. Like it's that type of stuff to where you see the clear upside, the skill that made him a five-star recruit once upon a time, but it's more so like how do you streamline and simplify what his role is while also not just saying like, all right, Jaron, go stand in the corner. Because that's a lot of times what he did at Alabama was he was just spaced in the corner, not as involved inside the arc. And I think when you look at the three-point numbers, the shot is there to where he's competent, like he's 30% through 2 years, not great, but not abysmal. But like I think he shot 42% from three in league play. And then even didn't have a ton of shots inside the arc, but 67% from two. Like there's something to work with. It just again, it's gonna come down a ton to his role and what they ask him to do.
Yeah, so he's the shot is definitely like I think the swing piece here, but the important part to me, unlike Cannon Catchings, if the shots don't go in, Jaron Stevenson can contribute to your basketball team.
Mhm.
And if the shots do go in, suddenly you're talking about an awesome basketball player. Now, in conference play for Alabama this year, he started 12 of the 18 games, shot 42% from three in conference play, averaged 6 and 4 in 20 minutes a game with half a like point 0.7 block. Like you average that out, just play him 30 minutes instead. He's probably averaging like 9 and 5 with a block and 40% from three. If he gives you that at Carolina, it's a massive upgrade over whatever was in your front court last year. We interrupt this sleepers video to talk directly to you, our loyal listener. Have you ever found yourself watching us two idiots thinking, hey, I wish there was a very easy, small way for me to show a token of my appreciation for all of their hard work on all these videos I love to watch? Well, now we have just the way to do that.
Thanks to the beautiful folks over at Underdog Fantasy. They are helping us out this month, presenting a lot of the content coming out this month, giving you a chance with a amazing offer that you can use using our promo code that Gregory will tell you more about.
Yeah, so college hoop season's over, but we got like big time golf tournaments. The NBA playoffs are coming. Baseball season's underway. There's still a bunch of sports on. There's still a bunch of ways to play with Underdog Fantasy. Promo code SLEEPERS. As a new customer, you can get up to 1,000 bonus credits plus a free pick. It's one of the most fun ways to play. It's a great way to support us. And on some actual like non-ad read stuff, talking genuinely here, really helps us because if Underdog loves us, if we get a lot of people to sign up, they're going to help us continue to bring you the content that you love. Show your support. Join Underdog Fantasy. Use promo code SLEEPERS. Get up to $1,000 in bonus credits and a free pick. And
Mhm.
you pair him with Visar. That's the thing. I really like the front court pairing right now. I think these two can work. I think you've got some size, some toughness, a little bit of floor spacing, and all in all, it's going to feel like a completely rejuvenated group. So, tip of the cap here. The interesting thing for me, I was looking through this because, man, he played a lot of minutes for Alabama both of these seasons. I mean, his minutes really didn't go up all that much in year two from year one. Part of that is because Alabama had Grant Nelson and Cliff Amorie. Like where are the minutes supposed to come from when Grant Nelson's at your position? And are you going to slide people around just to make room for a guy that wasn't a knockdown shooter in an Nate's Oates system? Didn't make a ton of sense. So I'm very optimistic. There's clear reasons why he was like hitting a ceiling at Alabama. There were some studs in front of him, and it wasn't the perfect system fit. Now you put him in theory in an open role at Carolina, where I think the sky's the limit. I think we'll see a really, really good version of him. Last season at Alabama, Alabama was 19-3 when Jarin Stevenson was in the starting lineup. They flipped him out of the starting lineup midway through conference play. They were 9-6 once he left the starting lineup, Briley. That's not a one-for-one comparison. I'm not saying Jaron Stevenson was the key to the season, but it's very clear he can play a huge role on a winning team, and I think that's something this North Carolina roster needs right now.
You're selling me on it. I mean, we're fresh off of recording the Cannon Catchings commitment video, and you made some good points in that one as well to make the case for Jaron as a superior player. I do think it is worth noting, going off of that stat, like he was a rotation piece for a 2 seed. That's really good compared to Catchings, who fell out of the lineup, or excuse me, out of the rotation. And yeah, I think he might run into some of those same issues that he did at Alabama with Grant Nelson at the 4 with Caleb Wilson coming in. That's the part where I'm like very curious to see how does Hubert Davis manage this. If I mean like if you look to 2022, he played Leaky Black at the 3 and he played Brady Manick at the 4, and it worked the second half of the year to a national championship experience. There's like some comparisons you can draw there. I mean, Caleb Wilson is such a superior athlete, superior playmaker to Leaky Black. Hopefully, a shooting upgrade as well. But like Stevenson at this point, when you look at the shooting numbers, is like a way, way downgrade from Manick. But maybe they get creative there. I think what I'm most looking for is with to like make that pairing work. If let's say if you theoretically want to play, spend a lot of, I mean, you're looking at least stretches where you're trying to play Wilson, Stevenson, and Vasar together as it's constructed right now. I think for that to work, you really have to take advantage of Caleb Wilson's playmaking. That's one of his gifts. He's a good passer. He's got a decent handle for someone his size. Like you can run 4 or 5 pick and rolls with him. But we haven't seen Hubert do that a ton with the construction of his. That could be more based on the construction of other rosters. With like he's always, it feels like he has 10 combo guards on the roster every year, to where he hasn't really unleashed any wings or forwards as a playmaking hub. But I think this is going to be the year to do it. They're He's probably gonna have to retool a lot of what has been comfortable for him with like running high ball screens or playing out of horn sets a lot for those combo guards to make decisions and cook, just because I mean no one on this roster right now has ever been a primary ball handler. So you're looking at the strength being at your 3 through 5. He's gonna have his work cut out for him to figure out how to optimize it.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure, which is a little scary to say out loud. Like I don't love like he's got his work cut out for him to figure it out, but like I don't know. This is where like make or break season type thing comes in, and I think this is a huge floor raising ad in a variety of ways because you're not going to
Unbelievable.
lose games because of your front court in the ACC next year with Stevenson
Right.
and Visar. You're just not. It's going to come down to one, how good is Caleb Wilson? Where does he fit in with these guys? Two, is Trimble the guy in the backcourt? Do you still need a different guy in the backcourt? I guess it could be Evans, but I don't know. To me, like I look at that group of Evans, Trimble, Wilson, Stevenson, Visar. I think that's a tournament team. I think that's a good top 3 or 4 team in the ACC at minimum. The question, or maybe the thing missing, is just like who's the perimeter stud?
Yep.
Maybe it's Trimble. Maybe it's Evans, and he just becomes this crazy shot maker. But maybe you're not done. Maybe you still add somebody else. Maybe Powell comes back. There's still some moving parts. At minimum, I don't think there's many gaps on this roster anymore. And one bonus, just the sprinkle on top of the cupcake here. If it was Stevenson versus Catchings, I don't really care who you prioritized. You got the one that I like more. Um, one of these two clearly wants to be a North Carolina basketball player. One of these two wants to be in the NBA and always has. He's made every decision that way for the last 3 years. So I think this is the thing. Even if Stevenson's great this year, you probably get a fourth year of Stevenson, and he probably plays his guts out for the hometown program that he grew up loving. I think he's going to become a fan favorite sooner rather than later.